Woohoo!
All right. Well, thank you everyone for being with us today. I really appreciate it. Before we introduce our special guest, I wanted to just talk about a few things real quick. First, I want to introduce my co-host, the one and only Nicole.
Hello. Am I supposed to say something? Hi.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
You are I'm loving doing these events with you. It's great. And just so everyone knows, it started out just as an idea, and it was the first few events we had one person, two people. And now, I mean, look at where we are. We have, people from all across the country, and I really appreciate, you being my partner in this endeavor, and it's been great. So before we introduce our special guest, Mark, I wanted to talk real quick about the upcoming events that we have. So next Tuesday, February 8th, Nicole, you're gonna be running the show next week, and
yeah.
What are you going to be talking about next week?
So, well, it's going to be about social media. I'm kind of gearing it towards, I've had a lot of people asking me questions about kind of optimizing their profiles and what to do, like what they need to be doing in order to be getting business from social media. So I'm going to do another class. I've done a few like this, but I'm going to do another one on just optimizing profiles and, the kind of stuff you should be posting in order to get business from social media, all platforms.
I love it. And then on Tuesday, February 15th, we have a repeat guest, April Bradshaw. She's amazing. She's from Pearland, Texas, and she always brings high energy. You never can get a word in edgewise with her because she talks a million miles a minute, but she's an amazing guest, and she does a lot on social media. And do you know what she's going to be discussing, Nicole?
I don't, but she always brings the heat. I don't know, like everything she talks about is good stuff, and you can walk away with something from it. I'm not sure what her topic's going to be yet. She's also a fly by the seat of your pants kind of girl. So she does always a good job though. So whatever it is, join us. And then
on Tuesday, February 22nd.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We're gonna have. Can I announce it?
Yep, you tell everybody.
We're gonna have Glenda Baker on. So if you guys don't know who Glenda Baker is, you need to follow her on Instagram. She does amazing videos, and she's gonna actually be talking about how video has impacted her business. So she started doing a lot more video in the last year, and it has just propelled her business like crazy. She's an agent out of Atlanta. So if you don't know her, she is something special. She's amazing. So I'm so excited to have her. She's got, I don't even know how many followers. She's got to be in the thousands, like tens of thousands of followers, if not more. Let me look her up.
Yeah, she gets thousands of views.
73.5 thousand followers. So she's amazing. So I'm so excited to have her on. And then Lee,
what was that name again?
Glenda Baker.
With two N's.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
And then the following week on March 1st, we're going to have Isaiah Colton back on again, and he's going to talk about how to dominate with listings.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a coach that we have integrated in a lot of our systems over the past 60 days, and he does a fantastic job. It's always high energy with Isaiah. Mm-hmm. And then on March 8th, Nicole and I are going to mix it up a little bit, and we are going to be doing our event live from Cabo. So we will do it on a beach, and I know that it'll be 9 a.m. Pacific time. So I guess, are we allowed to drink at 9 a.m.?
Oh, I will absolutely have a, probably like a pina colada or something, a little juice.
Okay. Well, and then the only request is that both of our drinks have an umbrella in it. How's that?
Yes.
If I can if I can get over this COVID before then, I definitely I need more than one drink. I need a dozen. Well, so that's our next few weeks. We have a lot of exciting things ahead, but without further ado, today's guest is Mark Choey. He has an amazing story. He is an ordinary guy, just like any of us. And he took, he started from the bottom, and, it's really the American success story. He's an amazing guy. And go ahead and take it away, Mark.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. All right, sorry, I was running between computers to get to a faster computer. My internet connection on the first one was really bad. So great to meet everyone. I assume everyone's a real estate agent at various levels of their career. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of talk about, and is this going to be a question and answer format a little bit, Lee, or?
I'll ask you a couple of questions, but I think for starters, let's hear your story. I mean, you have an amazing story, and I really want everyone here on to just hear your story.
Perfect. All right. So I'm an electrical and computer engineer by trade, and I decided that after working many years in corporate and in research facilities and science, I decided I wanted to be a real estate agent. And what happened was in 2005, I was investing in real estate. It was very hot. I was investing in San Francisco. I met an agent, and he told me, hey, you should be an agent. And I said, what? Be an agent? So I got my license and I joined Keller, and I just started getting into it. I really loved it. I loved the autonomy. I loved how you could be an entrepreneur. You could be a one-man show, or you could build a team or a brokerage. The sky was the limit in real estate. And so, I read the Red Book and the $1 Million, is it the MREA, Millionaire
Yep.
Real Estate Agent, I think.
Yep.
And that book is still a classic. It's about team building, really. And it's about how to treat your business like a success. Treat your agent business like a business.
Yep.
And how to make it successful. Really got to think about it like you are not just a salesperson, but you're marketing. You're also customer success. You're also the admin. You're also the bookkeeper. You're also the janitor. You're everything. But you need to have different roles. You need to have people helping you with those things you're not good at. And no one's good at everything, right? You're either a classic salesperson or whatever. So long story short, I decided to focus, and I said, okay, I'm going to be an agent. And what I'm going to do is focus very heavily in one district in San Francisco, in Soma, south of Market, if anyone's been there. They were building
Yep.
gleaming high rises and condos in the sky. And I'm from New York, so I loved high rises. I loved city living. And so I decided, okay, this is my focus. I love condos. I wasn't a big fan of the Pacific Heights mansions and then the Victorians. It really didn't speak to me. So, then I became the #2 condo agent in the city. I could never beat the #1 guy, but I was #2. And I'll take that any day. And then we eventually built a team and using the MREA principles. And then we became a 150-person brokerage with $1 billion in sales. And we were, we got a notoriety around the country for our marketing and our technology and our innovation. And it got the interest of Realogy, and Realogy came knocking and purchased us. And the idea was, I walked into the office of the then president, Richard Smith, and he said to me, hey, young man, I just want to let you know I spoke to legal, and we reserved the name Climb Real Estate in all 50 states. Welcome to Realogy, right? And I said, wow, this is amazing, right? So the idea was to franchise Climb nationwide, just like Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Sotheby's, etc. I'm not a big company guy. So I left Realogy. It's a lot of politics, a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of organizational stuff. I'm very much an entrepreneur guy, right? A small entrepreneur. I love making my own decisions, being my own boss. So I left and started this new company called HighNote. And it addresses a key a need that agents still have today in real estate. But anyway, that's a short summary of what of me and my story, and I could dive deep in any of that in those areas.
I love it. I love it. So everyone knows right now in the market, listings in Nicole, didn't you just, Nicole was crying to us the other day because she put in 4 offers and all 4 got rejected. So we all know that
they were good offers too.
so we know that listings are really super important, especially in this market, because I don't think anyone really thinks that the inventory shortage is going to change this year. So without listings, it's going to be tough out there for agents. So Mark has a product that he gave me a demo yesterday, and I was blown away at how simple it is, but how effective it is and how it really can make you stand out among real estate agents. So Mark, why don't you tell us a little bit about the product and how it works?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, we noticed that there was this need and in the marketplace when we were doing business, the most critical time and the most highest leverage period of time for you is when you receive a lead. When you receive a lead, you have like an hour to respond to that lead in a very positive way. And you are not only do they want instant answers, but they're probably shopping with other leads. As you know, Zillow and places like this, they will shop your lead to 2 other agents, for example. So you're very much in competition. So we built a product that allows you to quickly build something beautiful. And when I mean something, I mean not just an email with an attachment, but you drag and drop everything you need into HighNote, right? And you drop links, you drop presentations, etc. And what happens is you build something beautiful and you deliver it. And what happens is you get these analytics, you get these insights, you get to see what people are reading and what's important to them, and you get it instantly. You also know if they don't read it, you'll get a notification, hey, they haven't read this yet, you might want to call them. And so agents are just winning all kinds of business all around the country with the tool. You know, we got a great testimonial yesterday. And testimonials is what we live and die by. We love to read these agent testimonials. You know, one agent basically said to me, I had a listing agent compliment our offer package and said that we looked extremely professional. And although we weren't the highest offer, we were the type of agent that the seller was looking for so that they could have a peace of mind during the process. We won because we had a great offer, HighNote offer package. So we're getting these testimonials from everywhere, just saying how the tool has set them apart and helping them win deals. And that's what it's all about. You know, we're not here to sell technology to save time, to make things easier. I mean, we are, but really, you're buying technology as a real estate agent for one reason, and it's to increase your business. And that's what our product does. It helps increase your business, and it's the difference maker for so many people. Yeah, so that's in summary what it does. And you know, I could do a demo. I could talk more about it. I could go to slides. Lee, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, why don't you give a little demo, and then we can do an interactive demo where you can send me. You can send the link, and then actually, if you want to put the link in the chat, and then everyone can kind of play around with it, and then you can just show your analytics of who clicked on what. So
sure. Could I share my screen?
Yep, I just gave you permission.
Okay, great. Oh, it says you cannot screen share while the other participant is sharing. So someone's got to stop sharing. It says you cannot start screen sharing while the other participant is sharing. So is there someone else sharing right now?
It says you're sharing computer sound.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Hang on. There we go.
Okay, great. All right, let me jump in here. So same thing. You cannot share screen while the other participant is sharing. I don't know if
It
that
says
matters.
you're
You're
sharing
sharing
sound
sound.
again. Yeah, it's saying the same
Okay.
thing again.
Hang on. How do I unshare? Let me make you the host, Nicole.
Okay.
So you're the host. So now you're in charge. So we're not sharing mine anymore then.
All right. Try again, Mark.
All right. No,
It still says you're sharing the sound at the top. I don't know how you did that.
Let me try sharing something else real quick here.
Sorry, people.
Okay.
Technology, oh, so fun.
It's only fun when it works.
Okay, so let me do that. Then I'm going to do stop share.
Oh, Scott just said, is it anything to do with you recording or you streaming?
No, I could share now.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Great.
It's because I was streaming the music before we started, and I was just sharing my audio.
That music, Lee.
Exactly. All right, great. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So this is an example, a real world example of a listing presentation, and we call it a pre-listing presentation that works. And we've developed this over years of testing and the science behind and understanding the science behind the psychology of the seller before you meet them. And so this is what it is. It's really before you meet them in person, what's the usual scenario? You don't know them. They don't know you. So it's about explaining who you are, credibility about yourself. So this is you, this is my team, this is a video, power of my brokerage, my office, and then some sample presentations, either past or current, and acknowledgement that you know their neighborhood, right? What does every seller want? They want an agent that knows their neighborhood, not someone out of town or out of the area. Marketing timelines, escrow timelines, everything you need to wow them. And a listing agreement, right? We put this in here. Why? So that we see if they read it. That's just a sample one. But this is an example of, and testimonials. So this is a great example of what agents are using. And a lot of agents are reporting that they're signing a deal right when they show up just because of this presentation. So really powerful stuff. We have so many community presentations where other agents have volunteered to share their presentations to the community. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my dashboard, and we're going to look at some of these presentations. And this is exactly what you'll see when you log in. You can, and I'm going to demonstrate creating one really quickly. So you just say new, right? I have my old logo in here, but that's my old brokerage. So Silicon Valley real estate. So I'm just going to pick the word real estate. We have unlimited stock photography all built into the tool, and everything for you to create something to wow agents, and either agents on the other side or sellers or buyers. A lot of agents and teams use this for recruiting now because they want to really impress the agent they're trying to recruit. So it's just any way to make an impression, to really show off who you are. And what I'm going to do is, while that's loading, I'm going to find a YouTube video here. And let me see if I can get something from Lee's page here. And we're going to do this office. Well, we'll get this office here. I think we used this one yesterday.
Yep.
And you could seamlessly drag and drop things into the presentation and build something very quickly. So you see how we built this, 2-panel, 2-asset slide here. Silicon Valley real estate. Here's a California closing cost. Here's the video of my office, right? I could add more things to it. Obviously, you could just drag things right off your desktop or in your cloud. I'll put a sample listing agreement in here, and you want to send this ahead of time because you'll see if they're looking at it, and if they are, it's a really good sign. Now, the other great thing about our tool is that we take things that look ugly and make them look pretty. So this one, no offense to Old Republic title, but this is not maybe the best looking, closing costs, document. So maybe it doesn't match my colors. So maybe what I'll do is I'll cover this up with another picture, and very easy to just pick and choose something else. I'll pick something like house, and I'll pick this little red house on the hill. And, as that's loading, we'll do that. Okay, so California closing costs, okay, great. So the listing agreement loaded, we have the video of Lux Group. You can move things up and down, move them around. Really powerful way to build presentations on the fly. And what I'm going to do, we're not going to wait for this to load, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to share something with you, and as a sample of how the analytics work. So now this presentation, this is a presentation we made a long time ago, but it's about, a buyer presentation, a sample buyer presentation here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a link, right? And I'm going to make this for Lee. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this link to everyone in the chat. Okay. And let me do that. Now this link is for Lee. So, but what I'm going to do is I'll put it in the chat, and just everyone could see. And I'm going to change this cover out here. We don't need this wrestler on here. But so take a look at that. I just pasted it in the chat, and you get an idea of what these presentations look like. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you, share with you the analytics and what happens. So did everyone get that chat?
Yep.
Okay, good. So now what you see here is Lee opened it up 2 times. Well, there's actually a lot of people that opened it up, and you guys are all looking at it, right? So I get analytics as to what has been opened, what presentation assets have been opened, when they've been opened, and on what device they've been opened on, right? So there's, which is really powerful. And so let me log back in here. I got logged out. So what happens is, it's just an incredibly powerful way to see and to win deals, right? And let me log in.
Because Mark, the old way is for somebody, if they're meeting somebody, to send just a PDF and a bunch of different links just randomly, and you have no idea if they've looked at any of it.
Exactly. That's the trick, is that, you don't know what has happened when you send an email full of attachments, and you don't, you don't know, you don't understand. But when you send these things with analytics, you get a, you understand what's going on in the mind of the buyer, the mind of the seller. A lot of agents are reporting back that they are just winning deals with it. And what I'm going to show you here is some of these testimonials that we're getting from these agents, which are just incredible. And let me show you a little bit more here. Now we work with every single, we work with, we basically streamline the whole sales pitch, and we collect everything you need to deliver to someone in one beautiful presentation. And we work with everything out there that you could throw at it, that every agent could throw at it. This is a great example of an agent, and what happens? They got a $2 million listing lead from Zillow using HighNote their first time. And this is what happens. They get this link, and they send this link out to the seller. And this was a remote seller, so they could not even meet this person in person. And they put in a 35-page listing presentation. I'm not even gonna wait for it to download, but it's a 35-page listing presentation from Montero, a 59-page CMA, and a 2-page, this is what a CMA looks like from their MLS, and estimated closing statement, listing timeline, guide to escrow, title, and closing, a 40-pager. So this is a real world example of an agent winning a deal. She couldn't meet them face to face. Shortly after that, she won a second listing, and she got her whole brokerage to sign up. Over 200 agents in the Bay Area doing that.
Love it.
This agent, who's my partner at Climb, he helped develop a lot of the science behind this. And this is his pre-listing presentation. It's just a fantastic first impression. And putting in a video is a great way.
I'm Chris Lim, and I'm the founder of Climb Real Estate. I don't know what my favorite neighborhood is in the Bay Area. There's just too many to choose.
It's a great way to set a first impression, to really, really showcase you and your power as an agent and as the right choice of an agent. So, and then we always recommend sending a second one. You do a pre-listing, you meet them, you understand their needs, you see the home, and then you follow up with recommendations and evaluation. And this is tried and true process that just wins a ton of deals, wins a ton of listings. You add comps in here in these blank sections right here, right? What's the value of your home? This is the analysis of the value of your home, sales and marketing calendar, and don't forget there's a listing agreement you need to sign. So it's just a really powerful way to present, really powerful way to just win more business. What else can I show? There's so many people just saying it's a game changer. A lot of brokerages around the country. Make your offer stand out. A lot of agents are using it to send offers. And why? Because when you're sending an offer and you are up against other buyers, you want to make yourself as an agent and your buyers stand out. And what are they looking for? Price, terms, but also that you're going to close, right? And so what happens is these offers look more professional, listing agents are impressed, and you can use the analytics to gauge the real interest of the offer. A lot of these agents are saying, I received an offer from another agent. I was just so impressed. This agent, Michelle Baylog, one of the top agents in the Bay Area, she says, HighNote's powerful analytics tell you whether their offer is strong enough, and buyers can restate their offers if not and win. And so a lot of agents are telling us they do that. They send an offer, the agent opens it up really quickly and shuts it, and they maybe see it for 2 seconds. And what does that tell you? It tells you your offer is weak, right? And because why? If you received a real offer, strong, what are you going to do? You're going to examine it, and you're going to check for every page. Is it initialed? This is what an offer looks like. This is an offer letter, purchase agreement, proof of funds, loan approval letter, disclosures, right? You're going to check in every single, every I is dotted and every T is crossed. You're going to look for all the initials. You're going to look for all the terms. If they're not doing that, then you're not in the running. And so you can report back to your buyer, to let them know, hey, you know what? They only opened it really quickly. Maybe we should come up in price. And very often the buyers will volunteer that.
I love that.
And so they'll say, oh, let's go up in 25,000. Let's go up 10,000, whatever. And they don't even wait for a counter. They won't even wait for a counter. They'll just like, let's throw our hat in the ring, make sure we're one of the few that gets selected. These agents said we had an offer accepted due to HighNote. We've made offers where we were the third or fourth highest, and they took our offer because of HighNote. And this agent said he beat out 16 other offers, one that was 40,000 higher due to HighNote's analytics. And what happened in this story? We wrote a big blog post about it. There's a video. This is the craziest story I think I've ever heard. He sent in an offer, they didn't open the offer very long. He noticed that he got a sense that he was not in the running. Him and his client's offer was not in the running. So he said, we got to get attention. We got to get their attention. So he wrote a song. He's a songwriter. So he wrote a song to say, and it basically went something like, oh, pick me, pick me. Our buyers love your home. We've been looking forever. That kind of letter. And it really, he saw that he put it in a HighNote, delivered it. The sellers and the agent were opening it like crazy. And what happened was he charmed the sellers, and they're like, wow, that seller and he charmed the buyers. The agent charmed the sellers, sorry. And so the sellers were saying, wow, that agent and their buyers really want this home. And they did come up in price a little bit, obviously, but ultimately he charmed that seller to get them to buy that home. And the buyers were ecstatic because he went above and beyond to get that home, right? Even though he wasn't the highest price. Yesterday we also got another testimonial from an agent who said this, and it was another woman. I couldn't believe this either. I beat out 15 other offers by using HighNote. My client is a professional singer, and I came up with the idea for him to sing a love letter. I don't know what it is with singing. That was viewed by the seller and seller's agent. They must have opened it up and viewed this 100 times. I had another listing agent compliment our offer package and said that we looked extremely professional. And although we weren't the highest offer, we were the type of agent that the seller was looking for so that they could have peace of mind during the process. That's exactly what a seller wants, peace of mind. We won because we had a great HighNote offer package. So really powerful way for agents to stand out and make their clients stand out. Many agents are using this for HighNote for other use cases to win buyers. They're using it in mid-transaction, keeping clients informed during the process. Congratulations, we're in contract. Here's a step-to-step guide of what
I love that.
Yeah, inspect your home, review the disclosures, secure the home loan, walkthrough, signing documents at closing. Congratulations, your home is closed. It just really, really, shows that you're on top of it. These can be pre-built and sent whenever you need. Neighborhoods, selling a neighborhood. This one we built for our agents to sell one building in San Francisco, a big condo building. It's called Mira, and it's 300 condo unit building. We put floor plans in, animations, and these are easy to build. These are super easy to build. No rocket science involved, just drag and drop right in. And you know what? It's 100 times better than sending an email and attachments and links. Because why? The seller, the buyers, they get lost when they read those things, and you don't even know what they're reading. So this is just a next level platform for agents. Client retention, after they've closed the deal, what do? Well, we used to train our agents to send the closing statement. Why? Because they're going to need this at the beginning of the year for their taxes. They also need it for, a record of their sale. And you send that, you send the contract, you could send utilities. Oh, here's how you change your utilities. Home warranty policy, if you purchase one from them, property taxes. Oh, and don't forget to review me, right? So it's a really powerful way to stay in touch with your client. Here's one, a listing presentation by a Compass agent in the Bay Area that talks about Eichler homes, and that's a specific style of home, mid-century modern. These sellers these homeowners that have Eichler homes, they want to know that you understand what an Eichler is and you could sell that type of home. So, every market has that type of home. That's a special type of home. Maybe it's a luxury home, maybe it's a beach home, maybe it's a mountain home. Whatever it is, it's a specific style, and that seller wants to know that you can sell to it. Recruiting decks are being made with HighNote, and it's a fantastic way for a brokerage owner, a team owner to recruit to your team. Just really sets you apart. And then property marketing, this is another one. This agent and team owner in Tampa said that after 45 days on the market, we got a listing under contract. In my opinion, only after building out a property presentation on HighNote and sharing with both buyer agents and buyers. It's much better looking than an MLS link. And so it makes it stand out. And we have a lot of agents doing that. You could also include a lot of other things that you can't in an MLS link that are maybe specific to that, to that property that you want to showcase and feature. Not only that, your sellers would love that you're doing this, and it's super simple to do. More testimonials. This 22-year-old rookie beat the #3 agent in his city with a HighNote presentation. He said, HighNote was the absolute difference maker for a listing I won, where I was competing against #3 agent in my city. The sellers loved how easily digestible HighNote's presentation was and said it was what led them to call me. This agent is an older gentleman. He won 3 listings, 2.25, 165, 599K. Here's another one. He said, we got our first listing signed today with HighNote. He canceled the other agent's appointments after reviewing the proposal in the HighNote for 2.5 hours. That's a good testimonial for you. I'd like to get everyone on my team signed up. And then this agent, one of our favorite testimonials, she won 23 listings worth more than $11 million with a single HighNote. It was a building. It was a complex. I think it was like 50 duplexes that resulted in 23 listings. And this is how she won. She was up against stiff competition, but her presentation set her apart. And it's a game of inches, guys, right? To use a football analogy. You're up against other agents that may have similar experience levels. They may have better ones. They may have been a similar brokerage, whatever. So every little thing you can do to stand out is what's going to get you to win the next deal. All right. Anyway, I'm going to pause for a second. I've been talking a while, Lee, so I wanted to just get a pulse from you and understand what the audience is wanting to hear.
Yeah. I think Vanessa has her hand raised. Vanessa, go ahead. Take yourself off mute first, though. Oh, you're still muted. There you go.
Hi, someone else had their hand raised. I didn't know if it was my turn or if I should wait.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So this is amazing. I see this last example. She was able to sell all these units in the same condo, and I was wondering. I don't know. I know the laws are different in every state, but was she marketing that property even though it wasn't her listing, or was there something else that she was doing to market? Because we have a condo out here that probably still has about 10 units left in it, and I'd like to use HighNote to reach out and
Are you talking about Katie Day in particular?
Yeah, she had the multiple sales.
Oh no, she basically won the entire project.
Oh, she got the whole deal. Okay, yeah, so she listed it.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But back to your question, I think we use the this new development one to sell the building, right, to our buyers, and we're not representing the developer, right? But we are trying to sell the remaining units in the building. So is that what you're talking about, Vanessa?
Yeah. If we want to get buyers exactly to sell those, yeah.
Right. So like you could build something around that project, add images, floor plans, price ranges, amenity lists, whatever. But it's a great way to just be ready to go. Because why? You're busy, you're running around, and you can't just start, hey, go check out this website, right? You want something put together and built so that you can make it easy for your buyer to make a decision, right? And this is like a great way to do that. You could do this for any neighborhood, any subdivision. You could do it for any city, whatever it is. So it's just a great way to stand out, raise your game. And raise your service level, your professionalism, etc. So does that answer your question? I think she's on mute too.
Yeah. I know, like I tend to be a little cautious when marketing somebody else's listing, but people do it all the time. And so
yeah, well, I wouldn't say you know, and I agree with you. Every area is different. In San Francisco, it used to be a big, you couldn't like market this on a website and call it yours, right? But you could send this to your buyers, right? Obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you're sending that as an information packet, basically. But San Francisco just said, instead of fighting buyer agents, let's let them market it because they're selling it for us. So I don't know what area are you in, Vanessa?
I'm in Western New York, in
Got it.
Buffalo, not too
Okay.
far from Rochester.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So, you know, it's not like something you could put this on a website or something like that, but you just get permission from the developer. We always found that we just got permission from them, and just as long as you represent it as they're the seller and you're a buyer agent representing buyers, it shouldn't be a problem. Any other questions or?
Yeah, we have John. John has got a hand up right now.
John, go ahead.
Great. Yeah. Thanks so much, Mark. This is just, wow. He's just, my head's spinning of thinking so much, so many ideas. The one thing you did touch on it for, related to staying in touch with your clients. That's just an awesome idea. I think this is just a game changer with that. You can just have your, you know, touching base with them on a regular basis, and it's yeah, staying in touch with them on steroids here, definitely.
Yeah.
But where I'm going with this is that where can you then save it? Like, say, you know, I'm sending out to Lee maybe every 3 months, like maybe he's a you know, Lee's my hot seller, that I can, you know, be sending out a, you know, update with you know, Bomb, of course. You use Bomb, the CMA, but then save that in a folder under, you know, Lee, and then, or versus like it all, you know, all these that I've.
Oh yeah, folders are coming.
Okay.
But the best thing that we've done is, or a lot of agents have liked, is that we create favorites. So you can just tag something as a favorite, and which then will bring it to the top of your sort of your presentations. So a lot of people do that. So like North Carolina real estate, I just did a demo for someone there, and you know, you could just call it a favorite, and then it will just appear in your favorite and be pulled to the top. But we are adding folders, we're adding ways to organize it more. You know, the beauty of the tool is that it's simple. So the minute you start adding things in, the minute people get confused. So we try to really be limited in what we add and only add things that are super essential. And I think folders are one of those things that we're going to bite the bullet on and try to provide, because a lot of people are asking for that. So
Awesome.
we
Thanks.
don't have that right now. Yeah.
Thank you,
Go
man. One other quick question. So is there an expiry date to these links or these presentations you do? Or is it like, great, I sent this out to Lee, you know, the beginning of this year, and you know, or could he be checking in, you know, a few months down the road and I see his analytics again, or is there a,
Yeah,
a time limit?
Yeah, you can. There's no automatic time limit, but you can pull it. So you can say, okay, this is you can remove the link from access and from there. Yeah. But maybe that's a good feature to add, like an expiration time for sure. But you could password protect them as well, which is great, so that you can make sure that you know, it doesn't get forwarded to competition or whatever it is. Maybe it's confidential information in there, so you could password protect them also. And you could also make them public and searchable by Google, which a lot of people are doing. They're making property presentations or little websites out of it, and then they make it searchable by Google so that their name spreads, you know, and associated with that presentation.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You could have an amazing, like, yeah, amp up your website. And one last question, the $1 million question, the cost, my friend.
Oh, yes, definitely. Always the $1 million question. This is so affordable. And, you know, we have a special price for you guys, but it's basically less than 20 bucks a month for this tool. So, and we're gonna get you all a code to get that price, and but it's $19.99 a month.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know we're jumping around a little bit. We'll come back to that because I'm sure you have more on that. We had Jennifer had her hand up, and then somebody else in the chat had asked, can they add IDX to show any available homes on your HighNote, on their HighNote?
Yeah, I mean, you can add any link that you would send to someone else. You could add inside.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Jen, what's your question? We can't hear you.
You hear you.
You're not muted.
How's that?
Yep.
That's better.
Okay, so my question is, does this integrate anywhere, or can it integrate into KV Core at all? Or no, or is it its own separate?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a direct integration with KV Core, but there's a lot of ways to, so the idea would be using KV Core to send out messages to leads, basically.
Yeah, or even can I take a video from here that I use, maybe pull it into KV Core and send it via text that way so that I can track it through that system?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, the way you would do that is probably you create like, you know, some presentation about you and your services, and then you just copy that link and put it inside of your KV Core automations.
I love that
Yeah,
idea.
thank you.
Yep.
Such a good idea.
Yeah.
Did John, I felt like John raised his hand again, but was there another
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, it was yeah, thanks. Nicole, one other question I had on the feature sheets. I'm just thinking of this, that I was trying to come up with a way, another technology, but I think you just nailed this. This is for feature sheets. So you can do definitely then, can you do a slideshow, Mark, as well, of your, like all your inside shots, i.e., you know, going through the house? Matterport can be embedded as well. Would I be correct on
Absolutely.
that? I think I saw that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give you an example here. This is
Thanks, Mark.
one of my favorite ones, because it's a real world example of Stephen Lloyd, who is a manager in an office. And what he does is, his whole thing is like, yeah, they provide a lot of tech. The problem is, how do you package up that tech and deliver it, right? So he puts his presentations are the following. This is like his bio and his testimonial. So he had someone create that. Client testimonials from Reach 150, right? A 28-page PDF listing presentation that's built by the marketing team. A Moxie Present. I don't know if this link works, but let me click on it and see. I like to live dangerously. So let's see. Yeah, it still works. It's a Moxie Present, and he inserts it inside of HighNote, right? So think of it as like HighNote is the wrapping paper around your stuff. Here's a Altos market report. A lot of people use this for market reports. Oh, this one's not working anymore, but this was something he sent to me a while ago. But a video market update, they do a lot of videos. Here's a sample promotion of a video that they do, like of a previous
services. I'm excited to share with you today my new listing at 2648 St. Helena Court in the Vineyard Gate development in Livermore.
Right, we all have those videos. Here's a Matterport. Let me see if this one still works. Yep, still works. Right, and when you send this to a seller, right, as an example of your marketing services, they're going to be wowed, because you're like, wow, they provide so much stuff. Buy-side market report, right? It does a real-time market report tour of the buyers, a virtual tour as well, a brochure, sample property brochure, 4-page property brochure that's scanned in here. Right, this is like, hey, when people show up at your home, this is what I'm going to be sending to them or giving them when they come in. Just listed postcard. This is what I send to all of the neighbors around your area.
And this was created in this website?
Well, he uploads this stuff. So
no, you create your own stuff and you just put it in here, and this is the vehicle to deliver all the content.
That's
and you
great.
So if most people already have content in multiple different areas.
Yeah.
This puts it all in one uniform location, and it really simplifies the whole process. I think that the three things that the three things I talked about with Mark yesterday, that the three benefits of HighNote is, number one, it's going to set you apart, because this presentation is going to blow away anyone else, because everything is going to be nice and organized. Number two, it's super easy. You just take a copy of your postcards that you're normally going to use, and you just drop it right in there, and then you could change the cover image if you want. If you already have a video done for a specific neighborhood, remember how Mark said about mining a specific neighborhood? You could do different videos for different neighborhoods, and when you market those neighborhoods, throw that video in and say, I know Northville, Michigan. I know, Ann Arbor, Michigan. and you can do your little video and have it in there. And you can even drill it down to a subdivision. I know, Jennifer, you had talked about there's a couple of different specific subdivisions you wanted to mine. I would do a video on that particular subdivision and then find out how you can get everyone's email within that subdivision and send that. And so there's so many ways this can be used.
So
Not just-
Remine actually will give some email addresses. I
Yep.
noticed that as well. God, this is really cool. And here I was gonna work on a paper like a physical binder to take, but this is so much better.
Yeah, it's way better. And even like
Yeah.
at one of our team meetings, we all did settlement statements and send them to our clients from the past year. This is so much easier. You can just send them the link and so there's so many different things. So
I was just thinking too, like even Jen, like you're trying to start farming your neighborhood. You could literally do in like a card, like a just listed card or something with a QR code that would go to this.
Yeah.
And you could totally have a QR code, just go right to this HighNote thing and all your stuff's right there. Like
Right.
my mind is like blown right now. Cause all I'm thinking
Yeah.
is I send so many emails with attachment. All of it could be right here. And I don't have to fuss with it and attach 17 different things to an email.
Right.
And who knows if they're
And-
actually downloading them or where they go after they get downloaded.
That's exactly.
And then when
what-
you have a new client, you can easily copy that presentation, put the new person's information in and send it. And it's really easy. So the three things that set HighNote apart, and Mark and I talked about this yesterday, was number one, it's totally sets you apart from everyone else. Number two, it's super easy to use. And number three, you have all the analytics, which
That's right.
that blew me away when you talked about, we talked with one of our agents yesterday who submitted an offer, and she was like, the other agent isn't responding. We haven't heard back on the offer. And she was, I feel like it's a good offer, but
That was me, Lee.
No.
We could talk about me. Yeah, I never got a
No, but-
response back from the agent.
but with this
This
product,
would
you would have known if she.
solve
if it
my
was missing.
problem. This
Yep.
is solving my problem right
That's
here.
right.
Well, another thing I'm thinking of is I do neighborhood flags, right? I started to do that last year. So I could, like Nicole, when you just said QR code, I was like, oh my gosh, because I put my business info on the flag and I could say I have a specific neighborhood stuff set up just for our neighborhood. Scan this QR code, just check it out.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you can make
Scott, you
one
have a question.
presentation that shows your dominance in that neighborhood. And so easy. A lot of people do that.
I mean,
QR
I'm
code.
not yet, but
Yeah, it
We'll
doesn't
be
matter.
like
You
this,
can market
right?
it as such. Yep.
So on your analytics, does it send you an alert that they opened it up again? So for instance, let's say you sent it to someone and they said, well, we're thinking about a few months, and then you sort of forget about them. And then all of a sudden, will you get an alert that they've reopened it? Opened
Correct.
up your email?
Yeah.
So you don't have to search it every day to see who's opening it up.
Exactly. It'll come back to it. Like if it's been, I forget the exact time, but I think it's 24 hours later. If they open it again, you'll get another alert.
But what about like 3 months down the road?
Yeah. I'll keep
Okay.
on. Yeah. If it's past some time and they come live again, then you'll get a notification. And that's the insight you need.
Yeah.
You don't have time to be checking things like that. So, and again, I want to emphasize that I'm a techie and I'm a software guy, but I was an agent too. So I melded those two worlds together. So I looked around for all these things that could solve my problems and couldn't find it. So I built it, right? And it's really, we boiled it down to the basics of what an agent needs. And the issue is not lead gen, but it's after you get the lead. How do you convert that lead? It's lead conversion, right? How do you win that lead into new business? That's what is the most, you spend all your time marketing and promoting yourself and doing all this stuff, but then you get this lead and you lose it to someone else. Or you don't win that lead for some reason, or maybe you don't win that offer for some reason. Well, there's a tech solution for that, and that's what we built.
I love
So,
it.
yeah.
And then the last question I have is that, so you can build a template and then you can just exchange just like 2 or 3 items for that person. So everything else is set.
Exactly.
So
And
you
that's
have
what a
to
lot of
rebuild
people
what
do. And we have a lot of templates, and we're creating more such that you don't have to change anything. And you can just add things. Maybe if you want to add specific things for that seller and stuff like that. But there's a lot of, we provide it in resources. So not only examples of other people's but also stuff that we create. And if you need something, let us know. You know, someone else the other day said, oh, I want a rental one. Oh, that's a great one. So why don't we create one? Or I want a KW one, or I want an EXP one. So we have EXP ones, we have all kinds. You know, so, but yeah, the idea is you build a template, 99% of the things are the same, and you just swap maybe some text out, or maybe, you know, something that's specific to that seller or whatever to optimize the lead. You know, we kind of look at it as like, hey, we're a sniper rifle in a way. You know, you have a lead, you need to win this lead, right? So we're not a shotgun approach. We're not sort of spray and pray. It's like, all right, now we have a warm person who might be doing business with us. Let's win this. So that's what this thing's about. But of course, there's many use cases. A lot of it, that's how we initially built it, but everyone's using it for many different things to set them apart.
I love
I
it.
love this. John,
Can
did
you
you have
show-
another question?
Oh, I wonder if you
Yeah,
could
thank-
show an example of a buyer lead. You know, so many buyer leads come in and they're really hard to capture. Like you said, they're probably, you know, being presented on like 5 different websites searching. So can you show an example of that?
Yeah, so let me see. You know, this is a buyer one, but this is one where let me see. This is one where you already have the buyer.
Okay, so maybe one where you're trying to get that buyer, like
Yeah. So that's a good
Maybe you
point.
don't-
So this one's where you already have one. So then you really it should be like a pre-listing presentation.
yeah,
honestly.
similar.
You know, yeah, it's gonna be similar. It's about you.
Yeah,
And you gotta really, why real estate agents are so good at their game, at their job, is because they're people, right? You're relationship people, right? You have you have things about yourself that people like, and you're good with people. So you need to showcase that, right? So you need to showcase that. And what we do is you got to show video, you got to show pictures, you got to be authentic, you got to show, like, you know, back in the day when I remember when social media first came out and everyone was like, oh my God, do I do a personal page or a business page? Well, I'm sorry, but today everyone knows who you are. And for better or worse, you might as well own it. You might as well be yourself, right? Because like if they're not gonna like you ahead of time, they're not gonna like you when they work with you. So be yourself, right? And this is who I am. I'm a mom. I got 2 kids, and this is what they like to do. You know, I'm a snowboarder. You know, I like to do this. I like to do that. It doesn't matter what it is. You need to just be yourself and really amplify that, right? Because no one is better at being yourself than you. So, and then you're in real estate, and you're gonna be good by being yourself. So, you know, you want to build your relationship with them. You want to show who you are. You want to credibility. Now you got to have it. If you have a team or you're part of a team, show that. Show some videos that show your personality. Show your brokerage. Show why your brokerage is the best or one of the best in the area. Show the services you provide as a buyer agent. You know, this is marketing services provided. So this is obviously for sellers, but you could show like why you're a good buyer agent. And you want to show some of the properties maybe that you represented for buyers. You want to talk about maybe educational things like, hey, in this neighborhood versus this neighborhood. You want to show the timeline of a buyer. You know, you want to show things like what the market's doing. What's the market going on right now? Is it up? Is it down? Is it busy? Is it not? You want to talk about the process of buying a home. And you want to talk about, of course, your testimonials. If you have good ones, obviously you want to highlight that and then bring it back to you again. This is me. You know, I can't wait to work with you. This is why let's set up a call, right? Let's set up a call. So this is actually interesting. We don't have one of these, a buyer, basically a buyer pre-listing. I don't know what you call it. You know, basically a buyer. It's like almost like a buyer lead, a buyer website, basically a buyer agent website, right? And we're gonna make one of those. So I would love to work with you and make one for you, right? As long as we can reuse that and share it with the community.
Like
Yeah.
a buyer consultation.
Let's do it. Yeah,
Buyer
like
consultation. Let's do it.
Yeah, like a pre-buyer
Yeah.
presentation. You know, it's like yeah, we don't have one of these. That's interesting. So, but that's a great use case that we can use. So, Good.
John,
Any other questions?
John, did you have another
Yeah,
question?
thanks, Nicole. Yeah, you got me thinking there, Nicole, and Mark, the QR code with the farm card. This is just where I've been learning from Isaiah and Lee and everyone the importance of finding your source. So you're saying your QR code goes up there. You can do your farm card, and that'll tell you where, people who are clicking on it. But what got me thinking as well on this, and your for sale sign, that'd be awesome. Like, I'm just, anyways, I'm talking away. But the one thing that got me, just one other question, can you create then a landing page, say for those farm cards that go out, that then, Nicole, homeowner in your farm area says, oh yeah, I've gone in. Yeah, I'm thinking of now selling in the next 6 months, or et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, I would think you could, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can, it's essentially what it is a landing page. So a lot of agents are using this to build websites, and they're putting the link on their website. So is that your question? Did I answer it properly, John?
Sort of, but it'd be actually like when they come to that one that you've created for, like the market update that goes out in the farm card, that they go to that link.
Right.
Can you then, when they go to that link, can there be a, first name, last name at the bottom? Are you thinking of selling? And then they can submit their info there to then notifies me, like goes into my CRM that they've responded to the farm card.
Absolutely.
Directly.
You could put any sort of like form or lead capture thing in any of these assets.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mark.
So like, hey, schedule an appointment with me, or submit your request for more information or whatever it is. So any link that you would give someone, you could put inside of here. And I wish I had a demo of that. I don't have one, but you can do that for sure.
All right. Jen, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. So can you, you were saying you could use this as a landing page. So could we put this page or one of these pages in our KB core then, basically?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of a way to integrate the two, right? Because this would be great even for, I don't know if anybody does like the welcome home binders or things like that to get your local resources on this page as well. I'm just thinking about creating it, taking the page, dropping it into KB Core, and then that should drop into your daily stuff and even auto capture all your leads, right?
Yeah. So you could use the link for anything. You could put the link anywhere. You could put the link in a text message. You could put the link in any CRM as
well. It's vice versa. Your KB Core links can go in here. The links from here can go into KB Core. You can do them both ways.
Correct.
Which is great, because then even if you drop it into your KB Core, they have capabilities to search the properties right there, and then boom, you can see which properties they are. I mean, I think this is really incredible, as far as the power of the artificial intelligence, that I think you could take it to the next level.
No, absolutely. We're just starting. We're just the beginning of this whole thing, and I think we've really honed in. We really honed in on a major need that still has not been met in all the years of real estate that we've been doing, is this sales platform. Really, it's like a presentation pitching platform for real estate. And oh, John, I wanted to answer your question. So you see here, I dropped in my Calendly link basically inside the presentation, and so it just says meet with me. You click on it, it takes you to like booking a time.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, any link you could put in there. And it's just, it's just basically, what do you think about it this way? What do you email? You email links and attachments all day long, right? And it's a really poor experience for the seller or the buyer, right? They have to download and open these things, and it's a big mess. You don't know what they're looking at, etc. And then you want to add more, but you don't want to overwhelm them. But this is a way you can add everything, and it looks well put together. You look like you're on top of your game. That's what they want to work with. They want to work with someone that's on top of their game, right? And now that we've been forced into digital adoption by COVID and this pandemic, everyone else is arming up with remote work stuff. You need to digitize yourself, and you need to, I'm not going to say don't send a mailer out, or don't send a listing presentation, print it out and send it to them, but you could also send something digitally, because you don't want to not send something digitally and make it look like you're behind the times by someone else, because that's what everyone's doing. They're racing to get digital.
Right. And even, you know, a lot of the stuff too, like you're building rapport before you even get there. So
That's right.
you have all these videos and all this stuff of who you are and what you represent. They're going to know, like, and trust you by the time you get there. So it's
Exactly.
not, you don't even have to sell yourself.
You hit
So
it
it's
on,
already
you
all
hit it
there.
right on the head. The video and the pictures and everything is building rapport, and you're building a relationship before you show up, and you're hit it right on the head. That's exactly what we say. And a lot of times these people, like I mentioned, they cancel the other agents' appointments because they like you already, and you sent something so much more thorough than others.
Right.
But also when you show up, it's a formality, right? For a lot of, if they read the presentation and gone through it, right, it's a formality. It's not going to happen all the time, but you're giving yourself another chance that they will. And a lot of people are just like, hey, I'm ready to sign. Let's go. Let me just look at your home, and I want you to see the home and meet you, make sure you're human, and make sure you're a real person. But that's exactly right, Nicole. It's you're building the relationship ahead of time, right? Yeah.
It's so smart. I mean, like what you were just saying is you want to send the client more and more. Like I already feel like I have an email that goes out, you're under contract now, what email? And it's so long. And I'm like, gosh, it's so like, I want to give more info, but I don't want to overwhelm.
That's right.
And this is like this is life changing. Like, I love this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's so great to hear.
I'm so excited. Now I'm like, my mind is reeling on what I'm going to have to do.
Yes, we have a lot of that. We have a lot of people like, oh my gosh, I can do this and do that.
I know. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask a quick question. I think you already touched on this, but I just want to verify. So do you have pre-made templates already that we can go in and just change out stuff based on what we want?
Yeah, absolutely. And so like, for example, this is a template we make available. Congratulations, you're in contract, right? Now, every market's different, right? So like, sometimes you already waived the inspection, so maybe you don't put the inspection there, right? But this is an example that works for almost every place in the country. Inspection of the home, reviewing of disclosures, secure a home loan, walkthrough of the home, signing documents at closing, congratulations, right? Now, the only difference could be if it's super hot, maybe you're not reviewing the disclosures, you already reviewed them, right? But you could just write something here like, hey, if we haven't already waived contingencies on the disclosures, let's review them, right? And then, so yeah, a lot of these templates, we're building more and more every day. The more ideas we get, we keep building, and you reach out to us, we'll build them for you. You need help, we'll help you. So we have a whole staff.
An additional cost?
No, today, no. Today, no, it's free.
Wow.
Because our job is, we want to help the agent, and we help you win business. If we can do that, we've succeeded. Because why? You're gonna shout on top of a mountaintop and tell everyone else. And so we want to make sure you're successful. We don't want you to pay for software. It's the biggest waste when you're paying for software you're not using. Software is supposed to do things for you. And for us, it's supposed to help you get to the next level. And that's our mission. And so we'll do everything and anything in our power to make sure you get to the next level. And I'm not just saying that, because I was a brokerage owner. No greater joy as a brokerage owner or a team leader is when you're getting a rookie agent to a top producer, right? And we've done that time and time again. How do you teach someone else and you change their lives? They make nothing and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars now, and you change their lives and they're forever grateful to you. That's nothing gives us more joy than that. So.
This is amazing. I'm like, I want to get started right now. So we're over our time now, but this has been so good. So thank you so much for explaining all this and taking all of our questions. Does anybody else have a last minute question before we kind of wrap things up for today?
How do we sign up, or where do we go?
Lee put a link in the chat. I'll have him do it again. Okay. He's got the whole link for you. You can sign up right there and get started.
And I'm going to
I also put the link on the website.
Yes. And I'm going to give you guys a code. Okay.
Oh.
And it's called HN Webinar. And that gives you the best price, especially for Lee here. So HN Webinar.
John signed up already.
He'll let us, we'll credit him back and give him the best price.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This is like, I'm just thinking of all the things that this is gonna like help with. Like,
Awesome.
this is
And
amazing.
and here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna run into questions. Reach out to us, schedule a time, set the time aside, because your investment in setting up your presentations and setting up your systems and process will just only result in more deals. And we guarantee it, right? I give you a 60-day guarantee. If you try this and use it and you don't win more deals, your money back. That's how much we believe in it. If you actually give it an honest effort, right? You're gonna win. You're gonna win. Everyone is reporting they're winning. It just, you need to put some time into it to obviously set things up, and then we'll help you. And I'm available to get on a phone with you and show you how why, because we've done it. We've done it time and time again. So we're excited to have you guys. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you so much. This
Mark,
was
thank you so much. I appreciate you. And we're going to have you on again in a little while, and probably maybe like in the next couple months.
We're all gonna have to report back. We have to
Yes,
report
I
back
want
with
to
our
hear
winning.
it. I want to hear it. And I also want to hear if it's not working.
Okay.
Right? We'll help you get it working, because it helps. It works with everyone that has tried it. So it's fantastic. But
Awesome.
hey, this is great, guys. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thanks, Mark. We
John, Lee,
appreciate
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Bye
right.
now.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. That was awesome. I knew that I knew from yesterday, from doing the kind of the preview, how good it was going to be. And that's why I really wanted to push as many people as possible to get to this mastermind today. So good luck, and have an amazing day, and
Yeah.
take it away, Nicole.
That's all I got. I'm ready to, like, I'm about to sign up right now. So I want to get off this call.
Awesome.
All right. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.